After firing the OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, the researcher and the teammate of the OpenAI revealed a most powerful artificial generative intelligence that's called the QStar. So what is exactly the QStar? And also the where does the name QStar coming from? The name QStar is likely to be drawn from the two sources. First, the Q could be reference of the Q learning. It's one reinforcement learning technique, or you can say the reinforcement learning algorithm. And the Aster is coming from the most powerful searching algorithm in the graph that's called the A-Aster search. There are so many graph traversal algorithms are available like Bradford search, or you can say BFS and DFS. And this A-Star search is actually used on artificial types of games and also the shortest path algorithm. There are so many shortest path algorithm are available in the DSA that's called digester algorithm. So many algorithms are available. A-Star search is most powerful algorithm which are used in artificial intelligence. So what is the Q learning actually? Q learning is a machine learning approach that enable a model to iteratively learn and improve over time by taking the correct actions. That's mean to do trialing, and if it is get error, again trial. That's mean to turn trial and the error. That's the main concept of the Q learning. So you can see the Q part is likely saying that this robot is really good at making decisions. So there are also one algorithm that are actually available inside the Q learning. It's called the MDP, also called the Markov decision process. That's also one algorithm in Q learning. It's learned from its experience. We know, just like you learn from playing a video game. Yes, you are trying to also play a game that's called a snack game in the last of the video. Don't worry, right? The more it's played, the better it's get at figuring out how to win. Obviously, we can also see that how can you win in a snack game also. Now the A-Star search. We know that A-Star search is a graph traversal algorithm, right? Obviously, it's a graph traversing algorithm which can find the shortest path and also the use in the games. So imagine you are a mage, let rate in mage in problem in the DSA, and you need to find the quickest way out, obviously. So there are a classical method in computer science like to set up instruction, that's been the programming, that helps find the shortest path in a mage. Shortest path in a mage. So using BFS, you can also get the shortest path, or using the digest algorithm, you can also get the shortest path, right? The A-Star search is also one kind of search. Using this, you can also get the shortest path of the two data point. Now, if we mix this something called the deep learning, which is better way to computer to learn and improve the experience, we get a really smart system. If we add it in our deep neural network or a deep learning, obviously we get a smart result here, right? This system does not just find the shortest part in the maze. It can solve much trickier problem in the real world by finding the best solutions. Just like how you might figure out the best way to tracking a handle a puzzle or the game. Let's say you are using the Google Map, right? In the Google Map, you if you're trying to give your a location from one place to another place, obviously you can get the shortest path. So this is how shortest path actually working in the Google Map, right? And you can use it in the deep learning also. That is how it actually using the ASR's algorithm in also the Google Map, I think. Now let's see the what are the steps that you need to follow in order to building a Q learning model. Yes, in order to building one Q learning model, you need to follow here 6 steps. Step number 1 is called the environment and agent. Environment means it can be a game environment or an environment like this one, right? So in Q learning, you have an environment like a video game or a mage or rated mage and an agent like me or a robot. It can be agent, the AI or the computer program, obviously, that need to learn how to navigate the environment. That's why it can go from the up, it can be go the down, it can be go to the left or the go to the right, like this way. Then it has the state and the actions. State mean up, down, left, and the right. That's are the actions. Or you're playing a game that's called a PUBG game. You are short or free fire game. You can shoot, you can jump, right? So you can see the environment is made of different types of state. Like different position are scenery in the game. Like it can be the moving left, right, jumping, etc. That is the state. Now based on the state, it can take some action. It will be jump or it will be go to the left or go to the right, right? Now this is the most important step. It's called a Q table. So when you do the state and the actioning, you need to store it inside one table. That's called the Q table. That's called the Q table. The code of Q learning is something called the Q table. Here you are going to store your state and also the action. You can see these are the a robot is trying to uh, move in a puzzle or in a maze, and it will store the state in a table. So this is a big this sheet tells the agent which action is best to take the each step. Let's say there is a bomb, so it cannot go here. So it cannot go here, and it will store it inside our queue table. Now, after inserting the queue table, you need to update the queue table. Let's say I move here for the first time. I get one bomb. It will store into the queue table. Now, when the next move is coming up, I can go to the bomb, right? So this is how the queue table actually work. Now, what do you need to do? You need to obviously update the table. Obviously. Now, the step number 4 is called a learning by doing. So when you're trying to learn from your experience, you need to do that. The agent start to explore the environment. Every time it's taken action in the state, it can go up, it can go left, or it can go down, right? So if you give here the correct result or they get feedback from the environment, its reward is positive point and you can get a penalty. Let's say you need to go on the left, but you go into the right. Obviously, you can get the penalties, right? So when you get the correct position, you can get the reward. Otherwise, you get the penalty, and it is stored inside your queue table. Now, the most important topic, that's called the update the queue table. So when you get the value from your queue table using your algorithm, so you need to also update your queue table. The queue table is updating is a formula that's considered the current reward and also the potential future reward. If you get the reward, or you can get the punishment, right? Or you can say penalties. This way, the agent does not learn from the maximus intermediate reward, but also it can consider the long-term consequence of its actions. Okay, so now this is the final step that's called the goal. Obviously, if you're playing a video game like a car game or any kind of game, you have to go on the goal, right? Or you need to go on the destinations. So there's the main reason to playing a game, obviously, right? So over time, the enough exploration and learning, the queue tables get more and more accurate. The agent became a better and predicting which action is yet the biggest reward in different state. Eventually, it can navigate the environment very effectively. That's when it will try to learn from it, a trial and error. I mean, it'll learn from its mistakes and it will try to accurate them. So after doing it again and again, it will more and more accurate. So that's the main reason of the goal, right? Okay, and you can see here a diagram, some few diagram here actually collected from the Google, and which one is the overview of this full video. Overview of the full video. You can see Q learning, the deep Q learning, and it is called the MDP. That's called the Markov Decision Process Algorithm. Which one is also a Q learning algorithm. And you can say this is the reinforcement learning algorithm. Input state the actions is happening. If you give the correct actions, it will give you the reward. Otherwise, it will give you -10. It's the penalty, right? And that's at the basic of reinforcement learning for the LLMs. Now the question is, what is actually LLMs? LLMs is nothing but called the large language model. Right now, ChatGPT, right, or BERT, it's large language model. So using reinforcement learning, you can also building here an LLMs. That what's actually happening in the OpenAI team. Which one is the most vast of what to vector? What to vector is the more amount of what of vector. So that's why this one is so powerful. The Q star. And you can see that's the basics of the deep learning focus, right? I actually collected from here. So now we're going to see that how can we follow the Q learning and building a game. I will make this out, the snack game, how it actually work, and the 6 step that you're going to follow, right? We're going to learn here. We're going to see that in a practical way, that it is really working or not. So let's see and try to go on my VS Code. So well, this is the game. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply run here and it will open the snack game. So well, you can see here the game is playing up and you can see here one graph. It will giving the trial and getting the error and taking the actions. It will go from the left, right, or the up and down. And based on that, it can actually learn it from the experience. So this is how actually Q learning actually work. That we actually discuss about the 6 step. The step number 1 is the environment, the agent. So this is one environment that's called the game environment, right? Then we have our state in actions. So it will taking the state in action up, down, left, and the move. Then we have the Q table. It actually stored it inside of a Q table, and based on the Q table, it is actually in the back end way, right? So it will taking the actions, and it will try to score it. You can see score is item 0, and it will try to do that, and also you can see here an accuracy curve, which one actually updating your Q table, right? So this is how it actually works, and how it actually trying to eat this ball, it will. That's mean this is the goal step, right? This is the goal step. So that's it for today. Now, hope you enjoy this tutorial and make sure to subscribe to channels and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And I'll be back in the next video. So till then, take care and bye bye.